go to my dashboard, and some of the things that she was asking me about, I thought maybe it would just be easier if we went ahead and created a SLP team sandbox, and then I will invite y'all to it to be teachers, and y'all can take that over and it can be your team sandbox. So, but just to kind of walk you through the process of how to set that up, we'll bring in the templates from the Commons and all that kind of thing. So hopefully that will help if you can see that process. So let me move y'all. Okay, so I'm on my dashboard right now, but I am going to go to courses over here, and I'm going to click on all courses. And if you look up here at the top, it says add course or plus course. So I'm going to add one here, and I am going to name it SLP Team Sandbox. Okay, and then we don't have to do anything with this content license because that's already done through Canvas. All right, so now I've created the name and the course technically. So if I were to go over here and just kind of hover on my courses again, you will see that I have down here in the unpublished, the SLP Team Sandbox. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that just so you can see it takes me right back to where we already were. Now, one thing that we can do is we can create a page, and later we will make this page your home page, and I'll show you how to do that if you want to. All right, so it says no page is created yet, so let's add one. All right, so we are going to, let's see, what do we want to do? Let's just, oh, I don't want to do any of that really. I just want to bring in a picture. So we are going to, this editing space right here, you can put in links, you can put in pictures, you can put in like a YouTube video, whatever you want to put in here, directions if you're about to give an assignment, that sort of thing. But we are going to insert an image. So if you click right here on these little 3 dots, it's going to bring up more icons. And so I'm going to come over here to image and click on it. And the image that I have made for y'all, I just did on, I saved it to my desktop. So I'm going to click on upload image. And we're going to go to the computer. And I got there just by simply clicking on that little rocket. It took me to my desktop there. All right, so pictures, what did I name it? I think I named it SLP, actually. I'm very visual, so like I literally made my sandbox a sandbox, so I kind of did the same thing for y'all. If y'all don't like it, you can change it. All right, so now here's a little picture on a page for you, and we could just say team homepage pic, or whatever you want to call it, okay? And then let me move y'all again, so sorry, these little, we're gonna hit submit. One of the things that we need to know how to do on our sandbox or any of our courses is how to import the templates from Commons. So the district has set up templates for us already according to what your grade weights are. So if you are a 60-40, there's a template for that for secondary and elementary. And then there is also a 70-30 for secondary if it's a like AP or pre-AP type class where it's weighted differently. How do y'all's grades, I mean, y'all don't really take a bunch of grades, do you? No? Okay. So that really may not matter to you, but do most of your students, are they on like a 60-40, do you know?
We don't do any grading.
Okay, that's what I thought. So you technically wouldn't have to bring over the district template, I would say, but just for the sake of showing you where you can pull in templates, whether it's activities that you find or any of that kind of stuff, this is where you can go. So on this dark blue column over here, where we see the Commons tab, we're going to click on that Commons tab. And you can see that we have all of these Rockwall ISD templates already set up, and it's just done by like secondary, student orientation, advanced courses, and by the grade levels, because like I said, it weights them all differently. So just for the sake of showing you an example, let's go ahead and go to elementary. Okay, and so I've simply just clicked on it, and we're going to come over here to this blue button and click Import Download. And it's asking where do we want it to go to. So we want it to go into our SLP Team Sandbox. And then, so we're going to click on there and then import to course. All right, so now if we go back to our dashboard, and we're going to click back into our, eventually, if the computer cooperates. There we go. Okay. So here's our sandbox, and so now it's brought in that template. So if you wanted to keep the template that the district has put in there, you're welcome to do that. You can even go in and edit it if you would like, or you could change it altogether. Totally up to you. But the main reason the district created these templates was simply for the grade weights. So also it will help you to be able to all have the same options on this left-hand column here of showing like what you see, what the students see, and that sort of thing. So if you look, these ones at the top, they've ordered them how the district wants the kids to be able to see them. And then the ones that have the little crossed out eye are hidden. So especially for students who maybe are easily overstimulated, the fewer the better. So that's kind of the purpose for that. And there's things that they just don't need access to in certain grade levels. So yeah. All right. Okay, so that kind of takes you through importing and creating. And the same thing really when you are creating an assignment or a module. We like to think of the modules. Let's just click into here. When we were using Google Classroom, we thought of topics as kind of like our, it was kind of like our chapter, basically. And we would label it, you know, Unit 1 or week of, and give the date. Same thing with these modules. So if you were wanting to create any lessons or announcements or whatever it is that you need to do, you would go into a module, and we would add a module up here on this little black plus module tab, and we would name it, let's say, week 1, okay? And we're gonna add the module, okay? So now you can see that week 1 module is here. So now within week 1, if we wanted to add an assignment, we would just click on that little plus button, and it would take us to add, and we can add in assignment quiz, a page, whatever you wanted to do. Maybe you have a discussion question that you want your students to respond to, or whatever. So for this sake of demonstration, we're just going to add an assignment. Right here where it says new assignment, we're going to simply click in there. And then we're going to give it a title. We could say summertime or summertime fun. Maybe you're just wanting them to tell you about what they did over the summer, which to a lot of us was nothing. So, and then if you wanted to, within the module, have the listing and then maybe have your assignments kind of indented just to kind of show the visual of it. This is where the indentation, you can indent like different levels, and it just kind of moves it over just to kind of help streamline so that everything doesn't all look the same. So let's just say we're going to indent one level for here just so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so now we have our module for week 1, and we have an assignment of summertime fun. Now, it didn't ask us to put anything in there. We basically just created the assignment shell. So what you do is you're going to go back into the assignment, and we're going to click on the Edit tab. And again, kind of where we added in that picture on the page, this is the same type of editing where if you wanted to add in maybe Google Slides that they would go through, or a YouTube video, or you're just simply giving directions. So let's just say we're going to type in some directions that say, I don't know, please answer the questions. Oops, using complete sentences. Sure. If you just want to pay, yep, and there's. Okay, so there we have some directions, and then we are going to scroll down. And if you wanted to give this for points, obviously you put that in. In y'all's case, y'all don't give grades, so you're just going to leave that as 0. Your assignment group, you can see where we brought that template in. It now has the tests and the daily work that you could choose from. However, if you just want to leave it as assignment, it'll leave it as an ungraded category, because the assignments in here, it has like a 0 weight. So you could just leave it as that.
Leanne, if we wanted to upload an assignment that would just be something they could practice over and over, could we do a new group there that just and have it be titled like practice or something for them to go back to?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, whatever works best for you and your students, you can absolutely have something that's in there that they can just continually access. Absolutely.
Thanks.
I have another question on top of Jody's. Are
Sure.
you able to individualize for each student? So with us, each student has, you know, a different goal and things we target in therapy. So can we post things that only one student would see?
Yes, actually you can. So when you are creating the assignment, down here in the assign to, you can just X out of this everyone if you only wanted to go to 1 or 2 students, and you just simply type in the names of the students you wanted it to go to within that course. I don't have any students, so I can't pretend but that you could just type it in there and then give it a, you know, a due date or whatever, and it would just go directly to those students that you've listed.
I've got another question for you.
Sure, no, that's fine.
I'm at the high school level, and I'm wondering what it'll look like for my students. You know, if I have this speech page, is it a separate classroom for them? How does it show up for a student?
Okay, so if you were to create a different classroom for your speech students, when you are creating the page, you would invite them, or you're kind of inviting them, but you're kind of assigning them at the same time, over here in the People's tab. And I will show you how we can, just right here in this People's tab. And so if you wanted to add a co-teacher, you would just click on Add People. you literally just type in the teacher or student's email addresses, which you would have from Skyward, and you just drop those in there. And then if it's a teacher, you want to make sure their role is listed as teacher, or sometimes you may have observers or whatever, and some of y'all may even be listed as observers in some of the gen ed classes. So, and then of course, if it's a student, make sure you list them as a student, all right? And then after you've added people, then you just click the next and you will see them populate. And so then that person will receive an email that says you've been invited to join such and such Canvas class. And so when they click into their Canvas account, they'll see it pop up and they just click into it and you're good to go. So kind of different than Classroom where you had to invite your students and they had to accept. You're just kind of putting them in for them.
Great.
So, yeah.
I've got another question, Leanne.
Sure.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm. No, that's fine. That's what we're here for.
So the main purpose for us, you know, creating this Canvas is so that we can send out these Zoom therapy invites to our students.
Okay.
So how do we do that? How can we email individual students this Zoom link that'll be recurring?
Sure. Okay. So I would think you're probably going to use the same link though. Just you're going to have a different link for every student?
Yes.
Oh boy. Wow. Okay. I'm assuming that's for privacy reasons. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So when you are in, let's see, where could we go to? You could come to, you could go to announcements. I don't think your students will see that. So I would probably
And
put
Leanne,
it in,
just to piggyback on that, and I don't know, just to clarify, will there be some groups, Leah, and some individual?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That is true. Some will be groups. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, and that's perfectly fine. What you may decide you want to do is to create a page, and maybe you want to, let's see if we're going to go to view all pages. You can see where we've made this pretend front page. We could add a page, and we don't want to do that. This may be where in here you give it a title of, well, where'd it go? Why is it? I hate that it gives us these little weird things that make no sense. So it could be Zoom links, could be the title of your page, okay? And then maybe within here, you just save it. And so then within this page, we are going to click into it. We're going to edit. Well,
I wonder if we did, you had shown assignments earlier.
Yeah, we should be able to, yes, put like a module within the page.
Okay.
So if we were to click into modules, we're going to leave that page. It's okay. All right. So if we added a new module over here, we can call this one Zoom because we're going to attach it to that page. Okay. So we're going to add that. All right, so now we have Zoom links. So now we could create maybe an assignment, or you could even do the external tool. And this is where you could put in the link to your Zoom. Honestly though, I think it's easier if you just do the assignment, click on new assignment, and then maybe whichever group it is that you're trying to send the link to, maybe name it that. Like, I don't know how you set up your group A or Monday, or however you have your stuff organized. Maybe it's your AM students or something, and you're just going to click to add the item. So we'll click into this assignment, we'll edit it, and right here, when clicking on the 3 dots, is this link. And so this is where you could do the external link, and you can paste in your Zoom link here. Okay, and you can call it whatever you want, Zoom with Mrs. Whoever, you know. And then so once you've got that, then you just click done, and so then your link would appear right here. So then now that you have this one assignment with this specific link, you can send it to just those students that you want it to go to, student or students. So, and to do that again, you've got the one Zoom link, so you just scroll down, and instead of sending it to everyone, you just click that and you type the name of the student or students you want it to go to.
Got it. Now, after they do this, let's say the first week, you know, they click on it and we have our session, does it go away? Does it gray out? Or is this something that I can keep up and they can keep going to weekly?
Yes, you can keep going to it weekly. The way Zoom works is, even if you have a link that you've set like a specific meeting time and date for, as long as you click into it within 30 days, it will continue to stay active. Okay. So if you're using it every week, it will stay active, and you won't have to change the settings on it or anything like that.
And the same for the assignment within Canvas.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and that may be something where if you know you want them to click into that link, maybe you keep that assignment at the top of your Canvas page when you're in your modules, so that they can see that it's there every week.
Do students have an option for calendar type reminders within classes? Is there a way for us to,
yes,
remind them?
So yes, absolutely. So anytime you put in an assignment, Canvas has a calendar in there. And so it will put it on the calendar, and it will give them the reminders that, you know, you have this due on this day by this time, or, you know, whatever. So,
okay.
Does that only work if we put tied with the assignment, we have a due date?
Yes.
Because
so
then it's going to disappear if it's past that due date, right?
Right. But I think when you are, let me look at this again, since we're in here. I think you can set it to where you can set it without a due date, but that it's available from, and then that way it'll just stay on there. And they're going to get into the routine of knowing that they're going to meet with you every Tuesday at 11:30 or every Thursday at 9 a.m. or whatever. So they'll know they can just go and click on that link in their assignment.
And Leah, if we don't post it in our own Canvas, can we, if we're a teacher on another Canvas, we can post the same assignment and click only the student can see?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Yes, I don't know if y'all are planning to have your own classes, or if you're just wanting to go into other teachers. Either way, but we did want to provide y'all like with your own sandbox here, because we know y'all share resources, and you can even post announcements to your teammates and stuff in here, and all kinds of stuff. So it kind of would maybe eventually be replacing the classroom that y'all use right now. That way you're not having to go back and forth from classroom into Canvas and stuff. You'll eventually kind of migrate your stuff here to Canvas. So if that makes sense. So, okay. All right, any other questions about some of that so far? Okay.
Sorry, I have a question. So
sure.
we have the sandbox one that we're kind of practicing things in. And then when we want to put our real one out there, does that need to be separate? Like we copy it over and call it something else. And then anytime we change it in sandbox. And then I don't know how to update it like in the regular one, but is that kind of how it works? Like when we're sharing, we all share to Sandbox and then export it to our things if we want to, or?
Yes. And the great thing about having the Sandbox is that you don't necessarily have to export things out to Commons and then bring it back in because it's already within your account. You can bring it in from another Canvas course within your account. So it's a little bit easier. If you want to, I can show you how to do that. Let's say, we're going to add, let's say we're going to add a new module, okay? And we're going to call it test because I'm going to take this out for y'all in a minute. All right. So we're going to come over here and we are going to add, say, an assignment from test again. Okay, so now I'm clicking in. I'm going to edit. Okay, and I want to bring in, if I scroll down, the submission type, I'm going to bring in either an external tool or I can go into copying from my Sandbox. So there's two different ways. Sorry, I'm trying not to be confusing here, but it's a lot. So you can do it that way, or when you are over here in your, where are we? Where are our assignments? We can click into goodness, y'all. I promise I really do know how to do this. It's just things are looking a little different today. Okay, let's try going in a different way. Okay, so I'm going to go into settings here and let's try it this way. And we are going to import course content over here on this right-hand side. Now, up here under import content, we're going to see the content type and we're going to select copy a Canvas course. Now, I know it might look like here it's wanting you to bring every single thing from a course in, but I'm going to show you how to drill down and just get specific content. So we're going to copy a Canvas course. Under search the course, we are going to select, I don't know, let's just pull something in from one of my trainings. So we'll do that. And instead of bringing in all content, we're going to click select specific content. And then we're going to click on import. All right, so then down here you see that I've got this course content and it's waiting for me to make a selection. So we're going to click on select content, and then it's going to bring up everything that I have currently in that training course. So let's just click on the arrow next to assignments, and I'm going to say, yep, I want to bring in that major assignment. So you can click on as many of these or as few of these as you want to. And yeah, it's tied together there. So then after you've chosen everything, you just scroll down, click on select content, and now you can see that it's queued for that content to be pulled into your course here. So, and it'll say completed. So now if we went back to our assignments tab, I think everybody and their brother's on here. Okay, so now it's in here because I have imported these assignments from the other course. So does that make sense? If you go to settings, import course content.
Yes, I think that makes sense.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Yeah, and there are some other ways that Canvas Help has kind of guided people to do things, and we were doing it that way for a while, and then we kind of figured out there were some easier ways. So trying to help you with a little bit of the easier ways to do this. Let's see. Do y'all have any other questions so far?
I do. So in the spring, I use Seesaw a lot more than I do in the classroom. Sure. And, you know, at the top, we were able to toggle between the teachers' classes. So I guess at this point, well, I guess this is something that will be told as speech paths, but it appears to me that it might be easier for us to get on teachers' pages versus having our own to send Zoom links, if that's really the main goal. Right. Of what we're doing. Yes. So how do we do that? I know how you said to add another teacher. So the teachers will do that. Then how do we access their classes to assign to specific kids in their class?
So if you are in that teacher's Canvas class as a teacher, then you have the same access as the teacher will. So you can go into that class and create an assignment or announcement or whatever and put in your Zoom link there and still assign it the same way that I showed you, where you just clicked off of sending it out to everybody and just putting in that specific student or students you want to send it to.
And so if the students are in different classes, their name, I don't have to choose the teacher first, then the student, you just type in that kid's name?
Well, the student has to be in that Canvas course. So if you were wanting to meet with two students at the same time, but they were in different classes, you would have to put it on both of their teachers' courses. Does that make sense?
So we can find the teacher's courses under the course tab, correct? Once we're at it?
Yes. So when you click on this courses tab, it brings up all of the Canvas courses that you are a part of. And if there's one that you don't see, because I don't know how many, I know some of you have really big caseloads, and so it may take up more space than that. So if you click on the all courses, it'll bring up even more that you may not see just right here. So,
great, thank you.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. All right, what else can I answer for y'all? I know y'all have been through 2 or 3 trainings already, but I think that y'all were just kind of wanting some more clarification and just a little more one-on-one, because it's hard to be thrown into a big group, I know.
So when people are talking about their Bitmoji class, where does that fall in, and how are they using it? Like, where do they put it? And is the idea that it's just kind of a fancy jump page to different links?
Yes. Yeah, a lot of them are using it like as their home page. So if I clicked here, instead of having the default picture here, they've just taken that out. They've edited it and taken it out and put in their own Bitmoji page.
Can you show us how to edit right there?
Absolutely.
If we're going to edit this picture, how would we?
So let's say we're going to edit that. So here's the images. So we're literally just going to click on it, delete. If we don't want this, click on it, click delete. Okay. If we wanted to put in your own image, you would click on the 3 dots, and then you're going to click on image if it's on your computer or whatever, which most of them will be at that point. So upload image. If it's a Bitmoji that's interactive, you may bring it in as a link if you're going to do it like on a Google slide or something and you've got the links on there that you want to stay active. That's where you would do it as a link. So that would be like an external link. And I'll show you. That's where you would just paste the whatever you've copied from probably your drive at that point. But then if you wanted to just bring it in as an image, we could click on the images, click the little rocket, and then let's see, we'll just put your thing in here again so you can see it. And click open, and then you'll see it pop up, submit. And so now your home page has what to you would be a Bitmoji page that you've created. So if you wanted to just insert it as an image and then go in and add links on top of your page, you could do that as well. We just find that it's easier to go ahead and create your thing in a slide and then just bring it over as a link so that they'll stay active rather than having to go back and add all of those in again. So, but it's totally whatever you're most comfortable with. So, all right. Okay, so after we've got that on there and set up kind of how you wanted, you just simply click save. And so now your home page looks different with whatever you put on there.
So when the student hits that button down below, it doesn't go anywhere because we don't have a page, right?
Correct.
What happens there?
This one will take you somewhere, but it's not linked to anything because we've imported it from a template. So it's one of those things where the button is kind of live, but it's not really because it's not linked to anything. So, but you can definitely put links into the buttons, and you can add buttons and things like that. I know some teachers have added the buttons for like how to contact them or what their tutorial times are, or another button for their Zoom link or something like that. So it's just what works best for each teacher. So there's no really right or wrong way to do it. So
if we added a button there for Zoom links, could that button be linked to the assignments where we do their individual things?
Yes. However, it would probably take them to your entire list of, well, if you're going to have to send it to individual students, I don't know that the Zoom button would work for you because it would only take you to the one link. So if you were going to have different links for each student, that wouldn't.
Just don't go that route then.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I was thinking, you know, if you had a module and then each assignment for the students that you needed to have, or like somebody else mentioned too, even just putting it into that teacher's Canvas and assigning it to those specific students, that would work. Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't know that there's an easier way for y'all. I'm so sorry.
Leah, if we post the assignment on another teacher's Canvas, can the student click on our picture or something and it take them to our page? I just want to make sure if I don't set up my page that they're not seeing anything.
Oh, yes, because you want it to just be visible to the students you're working with. Yes, absolutely, you could do that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And one thing I did want to reiterate, I know there's been some question throughout the district with teachers asking about privacy because we have in Canvas the ability for parents to have the parent app as an observer. And I know privacy is a huge issue for your content, and students and parents cannot see other students and parents within each course. So the way that they have helped with the parents is when a student has a Canvas class and the parent wants to join as an observer, when that student has logged into Canvas, they can bring up a parent join. It's a QR code. And so once the parent has the app on their phone or tablet or whatever, they will scan that QR code from their student's account. And then that QR code automatically expires. It's not good for anybody else to click on it. It's only good for that one particular parent's account. So when that parent clicks on it, they are then joined to only their students. And so they only see whatever their child is working on. So I know there's been some confusion on that too from, you know, a lot of teachers. So, all right.
But that comes from the student's email, right? We're not inviting parents to this. This is go through student email through Skyward.
Yeah, it actually just goes through Canvas. So when the kid logs into their Canvas account, so, and they've got it opened up.
But they get that through their Skyward email that's been entered, right?
Yes, because they'll access all of that through their dashboard and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's one nice thing is you don't have to invite any parents or feel like anybody was left out. So yeah, they just take it on themselves. So, all right.
Leanne, can I ask a question about the modules?
Sure.
So modules are like chapters, right?
Yes.
So is there any drawback to saying like one module, do you get to name each module, right?
Yes.
So I could have like Tuesday, Thursday, 4th grade as a module, and Tuesday, Thursday, 3rd grade as a module. And then the assignment in those groups could be where I put the Zoom link.
Yes, absolutely.
And then I would only assign those to my individual students. And I could put my entire caseload as my class within this box.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so
absolutely.
much.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's hard to kind of tell y'all how to set it up because it's all different depending on what you teach and how many kids and
it's only 3rd grade and up.
Yes. So you still have to deal with Seesaw younger and you have a lot on your plate.
And I don't know that, I think we were specifically told we were not going to have our own Seesaw class because that's a little more parent labor intensive to get another classroom for their kiddo.
Right.
So I don't know if it's easier for Canvas kiddos to get it, like it's just to click that invitation. Maybe we could have our own Canvas classroom for the 3rd through 6th grade, 3rd and up. So. But we haven't been told yet, so I don't want to put a lot of work into it until I know.
Right, exactly. So that's when you just continue playing in your sandbox, and then when you get it all figured out, then you decide if you're going to move it anywhere and where to. So yes, there's still just a lot of unknowns, and I think this year is just going to be kind of trial and error and see what works best, and what works at one campus may not work at another, and that's okay. So we're just all going to do what's best for the kids. So,
so if we want to have some kind of generic things up there that any of the kids could use sort of as resources or practice at any time they wanted to, like some of the more common things, like maybe a resource for this articulation sound or this social skill or whatever. And then we also wanted to do the Zoom links on there. What is the best way to set all of that up? Like where you have your generic sort of anyone can use it resources, and then you have your Zoom link. And then I guess maybe the way that Jody was saying it, where you have a module and then you put your assignment with your link in there. You could also assign your specific, if there's something specific you want them to work on in that module.
Yes, absolutely.
But you have the module for the Zooms, and then you have all the other resources. What would those also be modules, or would they have buttons? I don't know, like how to do I mean, I did it a while ago, but I've forgotten since, like how you do a button and then link it to, I guess it links to a page or a module. I can't remember which.
Yes. Yeah.
But what's the best way to lay all that out or set that up? So.
Okay. Honestly, I think from what it sounds like you're trying to accomplish would be maybe to create a page, and up in that editing area of the page, you could insert your links to whatever resources you had. Now you could do multiple pages for different topics, whatever, or again, as you mentioned, you could do the modules, and maybe your module is named resources, and then within those modules, you've got different assignments where maybe you have different links or embed different documents, because you can put more than one link or document into an assignment, and you could if it is, working on your R's or, whatever, blending or whatnot, you could have that as individual assignments that have multiple things within those assignments. That would be just listed as resources. So.
And then do the modules have a button, or I guess you can have like a picture of something on there and they can click on that and then it would take them to those resources? Is that kind of how it would look to them?
So like say right here, we are on the home page right now. So say we had buttons down here, and say you had a button that you wanted to take them to resources. So you maybe just have some kind of a picture, and then you would click on, in the editing, you would click on, let me show you because it makes more sense when you can see it. Let's go back into edit real quick. Okay, so let's just say we wanted to link something to this button. So we're going to go to link options, and again, this doesn't work because it was just the example. But if you had your module or your assignment that you wanted to link it to on that page, you would copy the link, and then this is where you would paste it and then click done. And so then it would embed that link on the button.
Hey, Leanne. I just emailed you an example of a link, if that would help.
Oh, okay. Let me see. There it is. Let's see if it'll let me copy it now. Oh, goodness. Got all these extra little things up here. Now I need to move y'all so I can move the tabs. These never ending. Okay. So let's go in here, click link options. Whoops. What in the world? It's like my thing is possessed all of a sudden. It doesn't want to. There we go. I'm going to exit out because that is not right. Hold on just a second. I don't know what happened to it, but we're going to cancel it so it won't erase that button.
Underneath our pictures, it might have the, are you sure you want to leave?
Yeah, thank you. Y'all we're just hiding here. Okay, so now let's go back into edit. Can y'all hear that horrible UT music in the background? Okay, so now let's click on link options. way so it doesn't do something funky to me again. All right, and paste. Okay, so now we're going to save it. All right, so let's click on the button, and there we go. So, yay, it worked. One thing's worked today, y'all. All right, so yeah, it simply is just a matter of clicking on the image when you're in the editing and pasting the link in there. Somebody's awful UT music is playing. We have a bit of a competition around here.
So Leanne, that one button, so we could have like used for one link. It's not like we could have several buttons there.
You can add several buttons. Yeah, you can add as many buttons as you want. Just one thing we kind of recommend is, you know, the younger they are, maybe the simpler it is. But, you know, if you're working with older students, then of course they can probably handle 4 or 5 buttons, you know, something like that. So, but yes, so when you are in the editing mode, if you have images that you wanted to put in to use as buttons, or if you've created buttons or found some on Pinterest or whatever, and you've saved them as images, you can come in and add them in here. And if you wanted to have multiples to keep it kind of uniform per se, if you were to click on the 3 dots, you could actually insert a table and say maybe you wanted to have 4 buttons, but you wanted 2 over 2. Okay, so down here is going to be that table, and so then you could just come in here and put your image in each one of the squares, and when it's saved it would be nice and even and uniform looking. So
thank you.
Absolutely. All right, anything else? Okay.
No, thank you so much, Leanne.
Yeah, absolutely. I know this was kind of, again, it's always a little disheveled because we never know what it's going to do for us. But hopefully it helps. I am going to go in and add y'all as teachers to this so that y'all will be able to use it, and I'll take out some of the example junk that I put in there. And then y'all will have a template for it and just, you know, ready for y'all to use and do with what you want. So, all right. Okay, well, I will hang out for a couple of minutes if any of you have any other questions that you want to ask. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining. And if y'all have any questions as we're getting started with the year or whatnot, feel free to reach out to me or the campus ITS. Anybody is openly willing to help y'all. So,
thank you so much.
Okay, great. Y'all have a great day. All right.
Leanne, I do have one question. Sorry, I've asked so many questions.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay, so if we wanted to do, say we wanted to do that resource thing, because we don't want to clutter the front page, like you said, if we do a resource button and it goes to a page, or tell me what it's best if we set it up as a page or something. So click on the resources, and then there's a page that says, where would you like to go? And then can we click more buttons on there, and it says like articulation, language, social skills. Then say you click on articulation, then it goes to like all the different sounds. Then you click on that and it has more things. Would it be a page, and assignments, or how do you kind of
Yes, you could do it as a page and put the different things on there. Or I've seen some teachers actually putting a link on a button to a module that they've listed as resources, and then having different assignments or announcements or, you know, things like that that they can go and click into. So, but as long as they can get to that module, they can click into the other assignments as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.